Welcome to our channel. Today I will do a summary and analysis of the book The Millionaire Next Door by Thomas J. Stanley, Ph.D. and William D. Danko, Ph.D. The authors of the book are experts in their field. Dr. Thomas J. Stanley spent over 20 years studying America's affluent, while Dr. William D. Danko has spent more than 10 years in marketing at the corporate level. Together, they combined their knowledge and presented their findings in a book that completely altered the reader's perceptions of the wealthy in America. The research for this book was conducted by interviewing individuals in various locations in America, asking them about their backgrounds, lifestyles, and financial habits in extensive detail. These millionaires were also asked to show proof of their wealth in order to exclude those who are not really wealthy, but only live in expensive homes and drive luxury cars on heavy credit. The authors then analyzed the data and compiled their findings in the form of this book. If you find value in this video, I would really appreciate it if you like, share, and subscribe to our channel. The book, The Millionaire Next Door, was published in 1996 and was written by Thomas J. Stanley and William D. Danko. The book is a culmination of the research done by the two authors in the field of the wealthy in America. Through decades of surveying and studying millionaires, they shattered the modern myth that most millionaires belong to the idle rich. In truth, most millionaires in America are self-made, first-generation rich people who have worked hard, lived frugally, saved and invested wisely, and have steadily accumulated their wealth over the course of their lives. Key concepts and findings. The authors provide numerous quantitative summaries of the lifestyles of millionaires and UAWs throughout the book. For example, they show that the median income of the millionaire in the United States is $131,000, and that the typical or modal millionaire lives in a house valued at $320,000, which represents only about 2/3 of the millionaire's wealth. In other words, most of a millionaire's wealth is generally held in investments, stocks, bonds, and the like. On the other hand, the typical UAW lives in a house valued at about 3 times their annual income, which is usually financed by loans that leave little money left to invest. In addition to these and many other lifestyle characteristics, the authors also examine and try to dispel societal beliefs about wealth, such as the ideas that wealth should be displayed through extravagant means, that children of the wealthy are typically well-educated professionals, and that most millionaires work in high-status, high-income occupations. The book begins by differentiating between those who are indeed wealthy and those who simply appear wealthy. The former, who the authors term UAWs, under-accumulators of wealth, do not have a high net worth relative to their income, while the latter, the millionaires next door, are more frugal in their lifestyle, and as a consequence, are PWs, prodigious accumulators of wealth. According to the author's extensive survey research, true millionaires in the United States can be identified in the following ways. They live well below their means. Most drive domestic cars, and about half of current millionaires do not drive a current model year automobile. They are self-employed or own their own business. They chose an occupation that they enjoyed. Many are in professions such as teaching and the military. They invest at least 15% of their annual income. They live in middle-class neighborhoods, and they are expert bargain hunters. Case studies and examples. The self-employed entrepreneur is the first type of millionaire introduced in the very first chapter. He is the prototypical self-made millionaire, and it is his characteristics that are most frequently stressed throughout the book. Dr. North is a 54-year-old cardiac surgeon in the Northeast, and his annual income is $700,000. Surprisingly, his wife of 30 years is also a surgeon. The Norths live in a $350,000 home and send their 2 children to public schools. They spend less than $40,000 a year on all other living costs. Dr. North is also a prodigious accumulator of wealth, and his net worth is over $4 million. In addition to his profession, Dr. North owns 2 small manufacturing companies. De facto, he is also an employer of people in the private sector. Despite its essentially simple and repetitive message, The Millionaire Next Door is a lively read. One of the reasons it holds the reader's interest is the extensive use of case studies and examples. The authors present a variety of self-made millionaires and high-income professionals, and we examine their lifestyles and financial habits in intimate detail. These examples bring the characteristics of the rich to life and put flesh on the statistics. They are also a valuable reality check for the reader, demonstrating that these phenomena are indeed possible. This chapter is devoted to a comprehensive examination of all the case studies and examples used in the book from all chapters and sections. We consider the types of people presented, their common characteristics, and the different lifestyles led by under-accumulators of wealth and prodigious accumulators of wealth. Personal finance strategies and lessons. The Millionaire Next Door uncovered a demographic profile of the typical millionaire. The millionaire is frugal, lives below his means, and allocates much of his money to productive ventures such as businesses. Most of his wealth is held in privately owned, unmarketable businesses. For individuals who do not currently own businesses, the authors recommend investing in equity mutual funds that are indexed and consist of value stocks. It is desirable to have a long-term investment strategy and to ignore the media's daily workings of the market. Wealth drains out of the pockets of those who are not current in their monitoring of investments. The financially independent are in control of their destinies. If needed, they could convert their equity investments to cash in a matter of days. Controlling your financial destiny. By remaining frugal and not trying to keep up with the neighbors, you will have a decamillion strategy instead of a high consumption, high debt, zero savings strategy. You should realize that in America, high income does not mean high wealth. Most people, even high-income earners, allocate a large portion of their income to non-productive and high-status spending. Avoid the twin curses of social belief and hyper-consumption. Spend below your means and invest the difference in long-term growth assets. Accumulating wealth takes time, so be patient. Know that the stock market over time has gone up. Keep your day job, but let money work for you at night. Conclusion and final thoughts. The Millionaire Next Door is a valuable read for anyone interested in personal finance and seeking to better understand the subtle and sometimes surprising ways that wealthy individuals build and maintain their fortunes. Although some of the statistics and examples in the book are a bit outdated, the core lessons and principles still hold true today. One of the key takeaways from this book is that most millionaires in America do not stand out in a crowd. They live in middle-class neighborhoods, work regular jobs, and drive older model cars. They also have very specific characteristics in common, such as spending less than they earn, never neglecting savings, and making wise investment decisions based on long-term financial goals rather than short-term emotional influences. By following the principles outlined in The Millionaire Next Door and understanding that wealth is more often the result of hard work, smart money management, and conscious lifestyle choices, most people can accumulate enough money to live comfortably and be financially independent. In conclusion, Stan and Bill, the main characters in The Millionaire Next Door, set out to find and document the characteristics of millionaires in America. By visiting and surveying many wealthy neighborhoods, they discover that most millionaires do not live the way that non-millionaires would expect them to. Through their research, they learn how to accumulate wealth by living below their means, allocating their income correctly, and understanding that financial independence is more important than displaying high social status. In the end, they compile a report and book so that others can learn from these millionaires' money management habits as well. The main takeaway from this book is that anyone with a steady job, the discipline to save, and the ability to live frugally can become a millionaire.